Hi, this is Rhino here, and welcome to the 8th in a series of videos on Rhino basic modeling. Today I'm going to show you how to work with the blend surface tool, or the blend tool generally, blending between curves and blending between surfaces. Blending is a very powerful function within Rhino, and it allows you to smoothly join one surface to another surface, but it is a little bit tricky to use. It's got some areas that need to be explained before they'll work, but I'll explain some basics here for you. You can blend a curve and you can blend a surface. So firstly, I'm going to show you how to blend a polyline. So I'm just going to make a polyline here, make another one above here, and I can blend between these two. So if I put them in a sort of sensible position apart each other, and I'll show you what this will. I'll work in top view so it's a little bit larger for you to see. So I can go to curve. I can say blend curves here. Okay, quick blend curves or adjustable blend curve blend. We'll go with adjustable blend curve and select curves to blend. So I want this one and I want this one, and it allows you to blend between the two, and you get this dialog box appearing, which is curvature continuity. This tells you it's curvature continuous, this tells you it would be tangency continuous, this would be conditional continuity, but for now we want curvature continuity. And in here we can start to play around with these handles, so you can adjust the bulge. It's called adjusting the bulge of the blend, and we can adjust the amount. Now that's 1, that's 2 here, and you can change this to tangency. That means it's a tangent from this end here. That means it's curvature continuous. G3 is even more continuous in its curvature, and G4 is even more still. These are kind of equivalent to degree 4 and degree 5 curves, but in this is degree 3. It's got continuous curvature. It goes this curve here, which is a straight line, joins onto this curve with continuous curvature. It doesn't change. It doesn't have any steps in it, and that's the principle of blending. Really, it's different from a fillet or a chamfer, where you can see the edges of the fillet or the edges of the chamfer. A blend, you shouldn't be able to detect where the blend starts, and that's one of the functions of it that makes it so powerful. So that's a blended curve now, and that blend is a separate curve. You can join these together by clicking them all and pressing join, and we have one blended curve. But for the purposes of this video, I'm actually going to show you a little bit of surface blending first. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with some rectangles. We're going to work a little bit with the central points here, just to teach you a bit more about how to work symmetrically if you need to work symmetrically. And we're going to use the rectangle tool. This will also show you a little bit about trimming as well, and take you through that. So I'm going to make some geometry first, and then I'm going to move that geometry around, create some surfaces from that geometry, and then blend between those. Trim first and then blend between those. Okay, so I'm going to start with a 0 point here for a rectangle. If you hold shift down when you have a rectangle, you get a square, which is quite useful. I also want a circle within that. In fact, I want 2 circles. So again, I'm going to start with a 0 point, and I want a circle that's going to be about, say, this big, and another one which is going to be about this big. Okay, so I've got some geometry. That's all the geometry I'm going to need. I'll be able to draw everything from that, but I need to be able to do this in 3-dimensional space. So the first thing I'm going to do is raise up this tube here vertically. So I'm going to hold my control down, move it up vertically. I'll do this in perspective so you guys can see. And there we have a surface. Now I can make a surface from these two. There's a tool within the surface toolbar, which is surface from closed plane of curves. Now if you choose curves that are on the same plane, and there is a hole generated by those 2 surfaces, it will assume you want to create a surface between these. So I'll show you that in action. If I choose this curve and press enter, I'll create a surface between those 2. If I was just to do this curve here, I create one surface, which is fine. All the tool does is it trims the interior edge of that. So it does a trim here, it goes trim, this is my cutting object, this is what I want to get rid of. And that's what you've got. It's exactly the same as that, it's just run as a kind of macro. So that's the first surface I've created. The second surface, I'm going to make an extrusion vertically upwards. So I'm going to use my extrude straight tool here. This is the curve I want to extrude, and I want to extrude it again straight up like that. Right, so I've got two surfaces that I can now blend between. Now, blending surfaces can only happen at the edge of a surface. You can't blend in the middle of a surface to another surface. You have to have an edge for blending to operate. And you also need to be careful of where the blend is being instructed to start from and end at, because it's sensitive to twisting, just like the loft is sensitive to being turned around and creating bow ties and impossible surfaces. So I'm going to use the surface tools here. This is blend. This one here is blend surface. And if I press blend surface, it says select segment for first edge. Now you have to be careful here, because when you choose an edge, this one it's chosen an entire edge. Sometimes when you blend surfaces, depending on how you've made the surface or trimmed surface, you will have a series of edges that need to be joined together or chained. In this case, these are done already. This is the second one that I want. Now I'm looking at that seam line, and these arrows are going in the right direction. They're both going in the same direction, and they're going from one side to the other. They could have picked from over here, or this one could have gone to over here. They would have tried to blend the thing inside out. There's some options here within the toolbar. You can flip the direction. You can select the seam to flip. I want to flip that one, and you can turn that round. I don't really want to do that. I'll turn that back again. I'll flip this one again. So that's what I want. They're both going in the same direction. And when you're happy with those choices, you press enter, and again you get the adjust. Now this is going for curvature continuity, but I could choose G3 or G4. For now, I'm just going to use curvature continuity, and you can also adjust the end bulge. So I can use these sliders here to adjust the end bulge. You can also grab the handles on the tool itself. Be careful of doing this sort of thing though, because you'll end up with impossible curvature, because you've got surfaces intersecting each other. So you don't want that, unless you're going for something very experimental. Something like that would be fine, no problem. Go OK, and then you create a surface that has curvature continuity through it. Now I can check that. This is a separate surface here. I'm going to now check that using a surface analysis tool. So I'm going to select all these objects here. I'm going to go to Analyze, Surface, and I'm going to use Zebra. And Zebra creates lines around these things. I can flip these. I'm going to make these vertical so I can see these. And you can see from the analysis that the line changes direction slightly in this point here. If it was G5, it wouldn't change direction at all. It would be a smooth curve through. But in curvature continuity, it will change direction slightly. If it's positional, it will jump from one part to the other. So you'll see if it's positional continuity, if it's just touching, it might jump from here and move over. But Zebra allows you to see the continuity of your curvature. Now here it's very smooth. Here it's a little bit less smooth, but it's pretty good. So on the whole, you won't notice that when you print it or make an object from it. That's the environment map. Oh, sorry, that's the Zebra. You can also choose surface environment map, which can be quite cool. So choose all these surfaces here, and then you can choose your. I'm going to try sunroom. Oh no, I won't. I'll try sunset. There we go. Nice, nice tequila sunrise there. Right. So that allows you to see a little bit what the object will look like if it's purely reflective. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of that. As soon as you get rid of that, it disappears. So that's blending, blending curves, blending surfaces. Experiment with blending. Try blending different surfaces to different surfaces. You need to be careful though, because I've blended a closed edge to another closed edge. You won't be able to, for example, blend this edge to this edge. We'll try it. Blend, select segment edge, this edge, enter, and this edge, enter. OK, and it won't do it. It's going to try, but it won't do it. It can't manage it. You could though blend, if you took two of these, Control C, Control V, and moved one, and then front view here if I rotated it. Moved it up to there. Oops. Yeah. I should be able to blend between these two surface edges here. So if I go to Surface Tools, blend surface here, I can blend this edge to this edge, and you'll see you'll create a curvature continuous edge there. Okay, so that's a little bit on blending. Experiment with it, try it out. Try creating some fillets on an object that I've shown you the fillet tool before. Fillets are not curvature continuous, they're tangently continuous. So you can try deleting exploding the object, deleting the fillets and putting blends in their place. You'll find you'll end up with some holes that you might need to patch somehow, but it's worth giving it a shot. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that video, and I shall see you guys soon for another video, and take care for now. Cheers. Bye bye.